Hello people, right, it's Friday evening, it's the last day of the trading month and it is the last day of the trading week, and as always in the evening I have a look for a potential reversal. So it is now 7:30 and you have to be careful at the end of the month and the end of the week, and sometimes the end of the day as well, because it is, according to my sort of understanding of support and resistance, the highs and lows of candles and trends, then you need to be aware that at the end of the day they may well be trying to reverse something similar to this day here. We've got effectively these two candles represent the penultimate candle, high, low, lower high, lower low. We discount this one, but we can't count the break of that as the reversal on trend. We have to count that high. So you add these two candles together. I don't think I've ever mentioned that before, but and I've never made it really clear. So that is important to remember, because if you treated the break of that as the reversal, then you would be trading straight into that. That's okay if you're only after a few pips, because you can trade the attack on that. But categorically, really, we need to see the break of both of these candles in order to consider the downtrend broken and the new trend up on its way. Ideally, you'd want to break at just a pip or two above that, then potentially a pullback, and then a continuation. But to get back on topic, this daily candle was trying to attack some sort of resistance, in my opinion. So if you were considering shorting that at the end of the day to get a quick reversal trade, be aware that it may well be attacking something like this level here. Now, I've picked this Euro CAD purely because of this. I've done no previous sort of lines and analysis of this chart whatsoever, but just on that level there, this is why I would, that's why my mouse playing up again, or something's playing up. That level there was so close to this level here, so you can imagine, think about reversing that at the end of the day, because you want a reversal. As it is, it doesn't look like it pulled down, but you don't know. You could easily have had something like this on the internal candles, and you just think you're likely to have a reversal, and it just goes straight back up again. And that's a big old daily candle there compared to all the last five. In fact, if you had this, you'd have a really big discrepancy. So if you're approaching some sort of level above you, be very careful about reversing. So the antithesis of that, the opposite, is that this thing is doing nothing. That monthly candle isn't attacking any level whatsoever, really. You could, these levels have already been broken. If it was high, then it would potentially be attacking that, and you wouldn't want to consider shorts at this time of the week or month. And if it was attacking this with lower time frame reversals, then you wouldn't want to consider going long. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense to you, how I view the way candles move and why they move like they do. So that's the monthly. There's nothing really there of interest, apart from the fact that we've confirmed up against a whole load of resistance. The last resistance broken by that big yellow candle, or big green candle rather, is this thing. Then we've had the pullback, as it were, whole month of reversal. Big candle, expect a reversal. The wick would have bothered me a little bit, because they tend to try and fill wicks, but that's another strategy altogether. But we can see where that wick was had bounced from over here. Again, this is a monthly. They've attacked that resistance level and failed to break and close above it. So pulled all the way back to these sort of resistance acting as support, and then with this close here, then they've pushed up and attacked it again here. If we look at that level on that, well, the green one actually would be the important one, and you can see they've pushed up into that green high there, and we actually gapped up as well, tested that level, the high of that green candle again, and then it's crashed. So you know, all the information you can gather from just a few candles. So if we go down a time frame, because I'm looking at this for the potential of a reversal tonight actually, go down a time frame, we're on the weekly. What does the weekly tell us? Right, well, you know, they pushed up above all this resistance. Looks like they may have finally closed above it. The high of that candle was 4558, the close 4668. Yeah, so they've actually broke that level there, and that's what they were attacking that week. Broken, closed, had a massive pull down, or pullback rather. Once again, big green candle. What happens? Big red candle. ECAD, I can't even remember the last time I looked at this, so you know, I'm not I hadn't cherry picked this chart at all. But if you are up here at the end of that week, what would you expect to happen? Yes, a pullback, and look what it did. It pulled right back down, actually broke that support there, which they tested there, and then hey presto, big red candle. What have they done? They've reversed it again. You know, these reversals are tradable. Big green candle, reversed. So you know, it happens all the time. You know, this is a big monthly candle here, big red one, and what happens? It reverses. So I know this one didn't reverse, but there's sort of a reason for that. We've broken that resistance there, come back and tested it as support here. Whoops, something's going on with my machine today, apologies. That's what I was looking at, wasn't I? Look at that, broken it, come back, tested it to the pip almost, and then continued up. So you know, there's so much you can anticipate by just looking at candles at the end of the week, so the weekend, and at the end of the day for the following day. So now in this instance, the weekly, this week we've tried to attack that level. So that's the only thing that would concern me about trying to short this tonight, is that they have still got you know, 2.5 hours to go, and we could easily still try and close above that weekly high there. So we need, you know, if you're trying to short this, be careful. That's how I have taught myself to think about these levels. So there is potentially a reason why this has moved so strong, you know, in my opinion. Again, you know, I like to, it's all about state of mind and your thought processes. I like to think the machines drive these markets, algorithms. For whatever reason, they choose to break and close above these levels, and they become so significant, the highs and daily highs and lows. I do not know, but I always remember I listened to an hour or a 2 hour long webinar. We're going back probably when I had my eureka moment about forgetting everything to do with fundamentals and just trading pure price action. I listened to this guy, I think he was Mexican, oh god, I can't remember his name. I could probably dig the webinar out, but the important thing he said was about the algos. He said the algos run the markets. He was a ex-professional trader, or a professional trader doing one of these radio talk shows purely built for traders, and he said, you know, they flick the switch on the algos at 10 o'clock in the morning after the London and Frankfurt session has traded. They flick the algos on at 10 o'clock, sorry. They flick them off at say 6 or 7 o'clock before the Frankfurt Open. And I remember thinking that, And I was, at the time I was studying the Frankfurt Open, I thought, yeah, that's amazing, because you do, when you get that sideways motion, that's the algos, the algorithms. And that happens between the Asian sessions, so you probably have 2-hour window in the Asian session, and then a 2-hour window, 3-hour window in the Frankfurt, 7 o'clock till say 9, maybe even 10 o'clock in the morning. Then they flick the algos on, then they flick them off again at maybe say an hour before the American session, and let the traders take over for 3 hours of the American, the USA session, and they flick the algos off again. Who knows? But he was a professional trader, and that's what he talked about, and I'll never forget that. I must try and dig him out. Anyway, going back to this, so that level there, that weekly high, could act as a magnet to price tonight. In this last hour or so we've got, it could easily do that. That's why I would be very wary about trading this down. We've had a conf up on the excuse me, on the daily chart there, and we just got to pull back to test that old resistance as support there by the looks of it. We were trading, if we'd been going long, we were trading into all of these different levels here, so it's a tough old battle there, which obviously they tested on the previous day, yesterday, and then this would have been a problem as well, which it is today, and we are now pushing up to try and break through that as well. So that's what this chart tells me. We also have to be aware when we've got these sort of reversals as well, what are they reversing into? Well, I just mentioned that, but also you've got 2 levels of support there. If this seems complicated, guys, it's not. You just got to get yourself in the mindset of pure price action and understand and believe that these levels mean stuff. And when you watch them close to the pip and then the price goes up, it really, it can't fail to impress you when it does it. Look, they closed through that support level there with that close there, and I don't know whether I managed to get the right level onto that red candle. Yes, I did. So both of those support levels didn't hold as resistance. They both got closed through, and that's why in my opinion price flew up again this week for the week. So it'll be interesting to see whether they do push this up for the end of the week. It's one to watch, guys. That's it. I'm not calling any trades here. I was just musing about the potential of this looking like a hammer, or reverse hammer, or whatever they call it, an inverse hammer. That's massive on an H4 chart, and we've got this big trend. But just watch this if you get time tomorrow or tonight, see what it does. But it'd be really interesting to see whether they do try and close it through that high there. So and that is the weekly high, isn't it? I think, was it the weekly high? Yeah, that's the weekly high as well as the daily high. So yeah, just musings there, guys, but I hope it's perhaps made you realise what I look at when I'm considering shorting a trade. It doesn't matter if it's the end of the week or the end of the day or whatever. Well, it does. If it's the end of the day, I'm always wondering why they've pushed the price up so much, and because I believe it's all about these levels, that then makes me ultra careful. But you have to protect your capital, guys. So what do we got? We've got a descending, oops, I mean, I've only taken those 2 trades today. That I've been backwards and forwards, looked at the charts, nothing of any real interest to me. So the hourly 8 EMA is turned down now. As I say, I'm not interested in trading this because I don't want to get caught in a short especially over the weekend, because remember also guys, and this is something that I forgot to say, they could also gap it up. So over the weekend they might gap this up, which would mean that daily and that weekly had been broken, and then they can crash it down as far as they like, and then continue with this up move. And we have got some sort of a range going on here. So here, and these are all in a range. So interesting to have a look at that tonight and Monday morning to see whether they gap it up and break those levels. So thanks for watching. I hope it hasn't been boring for you. Have a great evening, and a weekend for that matter.